YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Welcome to my review for Power Rangers Dino Fury episode 19. So this is our classic body swap episode, which you almost feel like you get every season. I don't think it's quite every season, but it definitely feels like it. And I have some mixed thoughts on this episode because I thought it did a lot right. Like, there was a lot of really entertaining parts, and I liked the way that they connected it to a larger story. But at the same time, I'm also, kind of tired of the body swap episode, and the sort of lesson of the week of, just be yourself is also kind of a tired and overdone lesson a little bit in Power Rangers, but it still had some fun stuff. So, at the beginning of the episode, we open it up with, Ollie's mom making this archaeological discovery of this, map thing from a guy. It was, Brownbeard the pirate, or is it Purplebeard? I think Brownbeard was Overdrive. I was going to mention how it reminded me of the Overdrive Brownbeard thing with Rosie. Rosie the Bold, or whatever it was. But that reminded me of that. But it was this Purplebeard pirate, and they're trying to restore this thing, and they're doing this news story about it. And when they're there, Pop runs into this older lady, and he makes a date with her. And that sets up the premise of, just be yourself. Because, all throughout the episode, Amelia's trying to, get Pop ready for the date and trying to change him and stuff like that. And then coincidentally, speaking of not being yourself and trying to change, which I guess is kind of a nice parallel, this felt more like kind of a wink type of parallel at the themes of being yourself and body swap, rather than the previous episode with the convenience of needing the electronics knowledge at the same time you're having trouble with electronics. So at least I appreciate that to a degree. But it's the body swap monster. He shows off his abilities by swapping Slither and Mucus, and he swaps the Rangers' bodies. He swaps Amelia and Zato and Ollie and Javi. And basically, because they're swapped, they can't morph now because it messes with their morphing grid energy. So they're trying to figure that out. And in the meantime, Ollie and Amelia have to work together on this date because, their voices and their bodies are swapped. And they did that weird thing where their body swapped, but they have the voices of the right person. I guess they do it because they think kids are too dumb. I never like when they do it this way. I mean, it can sometimes be funny to hear the different voices coming out and they have humorous moments with it. But I think it's more funny and entertaining to see the actor really have to try to embody the other character with their mannerisms and stuff. And when they have their own voice, it makes it funnier for me. Not to mention, the dubbing always feels off. So that was something I didn't like about that episode, or this episode. Both in terms of the body swap trope being tried, but also, or being tired, tried and true tired stuff. But also, just I hate when they do that with the voices. It just bothers me, and I wish they wouldn't do it that way. I think it creates more of a challenge, as well as an interesting thing for the audience to watch, when they just use the regular actors' voices. But basically, Amelia has to pretend to be, or Zato has to pretend to be Amelia with just a cold. And then when they get to the actual date with the earpieces, they have the right voice for Zato. And basically they're trying to change him and put him in all this fancy clothes and bow ties. Cool. And it doesn't work out, and that leads to Zaymilia going rogue and just saying, just be yourself. Just be yourself. What kind of garbage advice is that? Never settle for who you are. Michael Scott. That's kind of the resolution of the episode. She likes him for who he is as the weird bumbling Pop before the whole, makeover and stuff like that. And then before the last battle, they discover that they can morph so long as they swap keys, because since their bodies are swapped, their ranger energies are switched. So when they morph into the right ranger forms. And this was another thing that bothered me. I liked the logic behind it. I thought it was cool that the body swap presented more than just your classic, we don't know how to fight in each other's bodies, just learn to be yourself type of thing. I like that this presented an actual lore reason of, the ranger connection energy is different to the grid, and they found a way to solve it, which was fun. But then they really didn't do anything after that, because, when Amelia Zato morphed, he then became male red, and then same thing with Amelia, or Zato, he became female. It's, all messed up. My point is this was a missed opportunity, I think, to do some gender swap suits. I thought that would have been cool to see, especially since we gender swapped Green and we showed the skirt version, not skirt version. I don't know how much more it would have cost them, because that's apparently always an issue, but I think it would have been cool to see a male Pink Ranger suit and a female Red Ranger suit. And, it just felt in the battle it was pointless. Even at the end, once they defeated him, they had to switch back. All they did was just change positions. They did some funny stuff with it, but I felt like there was a really big missed opportunity to make it unique with those things. I guess the idea is that when Zato's in Amelia's body, he then morphs into male red. But I don't know. It just came across as, strange. Not confusing, but strange. And, again, a missed opportunity. There was funny stuff with the body swap. When she patted... I keep getting everyone mixed up. When Zato patted Amelia Zato on the back, he's like, it's weird to pat my own back. Or, Ollie saying, no offense, dude, but I can't play guitar with your hands. They're too soft. Or there was a part where Ion got switched with a bird. And that was pretty funny. It led to some physical comedy that was pretty funny. But the funniest part was when they did the roll call, and he did the roll call as the bird. Just don't let yourself go full Rick and Morty chicken episode, and then you'll be fine. But there was some funny stuff with it. I just felt there was missed opportunities, and it's a bit of a tired formula. But the cool thing was, at the end, the whole thing about Purplebeard came around when they discovered that the map showed these 2 keys that he had hidden, which were Ranger keys, not Megaforce Ranger keys, but Dino Ranger keys, and they contact the Rangers, and it turns out they were hidden above Dino Henge all along. I saw some people annoyed by that, like, how wouldn't they know? But, maybe they wouldn't have thought to look buried outside there. I don't know, how and why he got his hands on them or how they lost them, but I don't mind that. And I like that what seemed like just a device for a dumb filler wound up being important, as well as a lead-in into the next episode, because that's where we're going to get the Raptors, and it gives a little bit more build-up, and I like that. It makes the episode feel more valuable as a whole, like it fits into the picture. Like last week's episode was kind of more of a filler, where there really wasn't a whole lot going on. I mean, I guess there was the debut of that Zord formation, but there wasn't a whole lot going on. But things like that give it a little bit more connective tissue. So I didn't know what to score this episode. I'm going to give it a 3, just because a lot of the hang-ups I have are personal, just about, being tired of that formula, and I think there were some missed opportunities. But there was some legitimately funny stuff in the episode, and I like how the story at the beginning, at the end, bookended, and it tied into next week's episode, or next episodes. It's tomorrow's episode. So I did like that, and I appreciated that. And it was still an entertaining one, even though I have some nitpicks. But what did you guys think of our standard body swap episode for the season? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can catch my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.